Lovebugs, it's Nikki from Call Me Ruby. I pray you're having an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. I want to first welcome my new subscribers. Welcome. I am so happy to have you aboard. It is my prayer that you're blessed, encouraged, and that the Lord causes you to experience His love, peace, and joy on this platform. For those who've been sticking with me for a while, I am so pleased to know that you are finding this channel to be encouraging, uplifting, and to be exactly what you need for such a time as this. As is often the case, I'm sitting outside on my porch enjoying this day. But you all, I was just sitting out here reflecting on yesterday. Yesterday was such a glorious day. I did not check my emails. I did not go on any of my social media or respond to anything. But I simply allowed the Father to speak into so many areas of my life. I worshiped. And I just had a great time with the Father. Basking in His presence is everything. And it quickly shifts the atmosphere and it allows Him the space and the room to deposit so much, you all. And listen, I was just out here thinking about how that just really set the tone for this message and how He has brought together two messages that He has spoken to my spirit over the last couple of days. But before I get into all that, let me just say that I have saw the comments from so many of you in regards to why can't she post every day. Someone even said it is a sin that she does not post every day. You all, I wish I could. I would love to interact with you guys so much more. But listen, you all, the way the Father deposits these messages into my spirit, they cause me to have to sit on these words 1 or 2 days, sometimes even more, because I truly do not want to miss what the Father is wanting to deposit, and I truly want to be sure that I'm releasing when He desires me to do so and only speaking what He gives me to speak, you all. So listen, it's not because I do not want to, it's just because I'm following the Father's lead and I feel that He is pleased with that. I will try to do some lives, you all. I think doing lives to interact with you all would be so much fun and so encouraging to all of us. So I will try to get that set up as soon as I get settled. One more thing before I get into the meat of this message. We have to address some housekeeping things, okay? And these are things I have indeed spoken on recently, but the Father has me reiterating them because listen, I have come across the comments and even sensed in my spirit that there are so many that are experiencing moments of frustration, discouragement, and so much more as it pertains to this final hour of manifestation. So many have begun to express their frustrations with prophetic voices seemingly repeating the same things, saying it's here, saying they see us, saying whatever they are saying, and saying that by now there should be some proof. Listen, I am simply a vessel that the Father has chosen to use to say what He is doing in this hour, to uplift, to confirm. I can only say what He's telling me to say. And listen, I have nothing to do with His perfect timing for you. But what I do know is that for so many of us, we are indeed in that hour. And the proof is in the confirmations. The proof is in His word that He dropped into your spirit. That still small voice, all the ways in which He continues to confirm, even when you second guess yourself, He continues to confirm because it's simply the set time, and He is going to use these unions to do exploits, you all. I cannot twist the arm of the Father as it pertains to when He does these things in your life. I can't determine what season you are in. That is all up to the Father. But what I can attest to is that His timing is always perfect. And what I do know is that He has chosen me for such a time as this to document my journey and to walk alongside so many of you who are in this same season of receiving this promise, and to continue to encourage you, to continue to uplift you, and to let you know what thus saith the Lord. And listen, these are things He should already have spoken to your spirit. He's just using me to confirm that and to give you hope. I need you all to not grow weary or faint in this final hour. You are on the right track. You have done all you needed to do. You are fully surrendered, and all the Father wants you to do now is be ready to receive. Be expectant. It is going to happen any day now. I know I've been saying that for some time, you all, but I need you to hear me with your spiritual ears, you all. It is about to be on and popping. The urgency I have felt in my spirit, you all, is on an all-time high. This evening, as I logged on to check my messages here on YouTube, there were so many prophetic voices saying the same thing. Now, I'm used to the Father confirming things over a span of a few days, but you all, never before had I saw so many titles, messages that were saying the same thing. Some were saying, be ready. Some were saying, in the nick of time. Others said, it's going to happen suddenly. Some said, be ready, be ready, be ready. But the common theme was always that the Father is about to do exactly what he said. You all, it's not a game. It has gotten really real. Things have heightened in the atmosphere. Things are so sensitive. Things are so ripe and ready, you all. Be ready, be ready, be ready. Well, how many of you have had some very interesting days here lately? What I'm asking, Lovebugs, is if you have felt the yearning for this individual, your ordained spouse, just take off to levels in which you are like, what just happened here? What just happened? Speaking for myself, y'all, the last 2 days have been something serious, okay? I have been yearning for this individual, and that was the major reason why I took a day of rest yesterday. I took a day of reflection and allowed the Father to speak into that deep yearning, because you all, it was on another level. I was like, Father, this is deep. And with that came this anticipation, this readiness that almost was overwhelming. And I know that so many of you are feeling the same thing, and it is because the hour is upon us. While it is getting harder and harder to wait for this thing, while we are indeed so ready, the Father wants us to take that same energy, that same passion, and put it towards praying for this individual. I think this crow wants to share this message with you all, because he's not letting me talk. He wants me to know that he is in agreement with what I am saying. So, anywho, where was I? He wants you to take that same energy and put it towards praying for your spouse. They indeed need it. You can pray for strength, you can pray for courage, you can pray for confidence, but we always want to be sure that we are praying God's will and not our own, because it is that the Father will honor. He understands how we feel. Before we even speak it, he knows we're ready, but he wants to know that we are still praying for his utmost will and his desire in these unions. So, Lovebugs, with that being said, let me get to the meat of this message, because the Lord just dropped in something so beautiful, and I know it's going to encourage your spirits. So listen, as always, you all know the routine. I was awakened to the most beautiful vision, you all. The Lord gave me a vision of a dam bursting, and the water was not playing around, you all. It was just so much water, you all, and it was just moving so very fast. And the first thing I thought was, this has to be abundance, this has to be overflow. But that was not the only thing the Father wanted me to gather. Immediately upon seeing this dam just bursting and water just flowing every which way, I began to hear that song, Somebody Loves You, by Patti LaBelle, playing in my spirit over and over. And for those of you who are subscribed, you are aware that I did a video a few days ago that was entitled Somebody Loves You, Baby, and it was based upon a message the Father gave me as it pertains to that Patti LaBelle song. And listen, you all, in that particular message, the Father did not have me to go past the actual chorus of that song. And I didn't understand why, but the Father is always so very intentional, is he not? So upon having that vision and that song again beginning to play in my spirit, he led me to go listen to the song again. And this time, you all, he had me to listen to the first verse and to allow him the room to speak what he wanted to say through that first verse. And you all, Let me tell you, the Father just dropped in what that rushing water, what that dam bursting was all about. But let me read that first verse before I get into what the Father revealed. And it reads, "It happened so suddenly. I woke up one morning with you on my mind. No matter what I did, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Want an instant replay of yesterday, hey." And then it goes into the chorus, which says, "Somebody loves you, baby. Oh, 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 somebody loves you, baby. You know who it is. Somebody loves you, baby. I said, I think about you, boy. Oh, 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 somebody loves you, baby. I think you know who it is." And you all, these birds are obviously feeling this, okay? They are wanting you to know that it's about to go down. They are in full agreement with the Father, as you can hear. This is another bird. At first it was a crow that wouldn't stop. Now this is another bird that is like, listen, you all better hear what the Lord is saying. Like I said, I did a video on this song a few days back, but it was from the standpoint of this guy loving us. It was for those who know who your kingdom spouse is, whether it be someone you were in a relationship with, a friend, married to, however. If you know who this person is and you have been doubting or just desiring confirmation from the Lord in regards to this, God shared in that message that it is indeed who you know it to be. And this person is awakened to the fact that they love you. And it's because the Father has placed that love for you within them. And that was what that video was about. But you all, as I woke up with that song in my spirit, right after I saw that dam bursting with all that water just flowing out of it, you all, the Lord began to reveal to me that that is the heart of your ordained spouse. And this video is for the ladies. And it's for those who know who your kingdom spouse is. And the Father has revealed that to your heart. This man has awakened not only to the fact that he loves you like before, he's awakened to the fact that you love him. Now, this is for a specific group of women. I cannot stress enough that every message is not for everybody, but he wanted me to get on here and encourage you all that your ordained spouse, this man, I'm a country gal, y'all, this man awakened suddenly to the fact that she loves me too. And he is feeling relieved, elated that he doesn't have to wonder anymore. God has revealed to this man that yes, it is who I said it is. She is indeed in love with you, and you do not have to be afraid about her response. I'm not saying this knowledge of your love for them is going to dispel all their anxiety about the situation, but it's going to give them a well-needed peace, y'all. They are now aware that you love them. And that dam bursting, just as in the natural, a dam is put in place to hold back the waters, to hold back flood waters. But in this situation, the Father had me focus on the fact that dams are also used for reservoirs, to build reservoirs, to store water for necessary things. And in this case, the Father is saying this man was indeed a reservoir, and he has indeed been instructed to let down his guards, let the walls fall, because he's indeed confirming who you are to him, that you love him, and that it is indeed go time. And as I'm sitting here talking to you all, the Lord just brought back to my spirit a testimony that I came across yesterday. You all, there was this testimony that really encouraged me several years ago, and I think it was so intentional and strategic on the Father's part to place that exact video in my path yesterday. And it was a woman sharing her testimony about how God revealed to her who her husband was. And listen, y'all, he revealed to her who he was 2.5 years before that thing actually manifest. And the Father doing so caused me to know that he is indeed wanting so many of us to know that it is the set hour, because I had not saw this particular testimony, nor am I subscribed to this woman's channel in years, you all. So as I watched this testimony yesterday, it was so beautiful how it was so similar to my own story, and I'm speaking in regards to how he began to reveal certain things to me. It's just amazing to me how the Father keeps putting these testimonies in my path. They are so similar to mine. Of course, there are a few things that differ here and there because all of our stories are different. God's creative, He's unique, but the key components are always there. And listen, it blessed me, you all, and it just confirmed what the Father was doing. And what stood out the most to me, like I said, was the fact that God indeed revealed to her this man 2.5 years before it actually manifests. And it was because he was interested in that story. He indeed was going to get the glory out of that story. And this individual, this woman, she said when the Father dropped this in her spirit, she was in this place of true contentment with the Father. That is a common theme, you all. God causes these things to happen. He deposits these gems, this revelation in moments in which we are so content with Him, in which we are experiencing true contentment with Him. It is His way of rewarding us for showing us we are on the right track. But this woman said she was just worshiping the Father, and she was in a place where for the first time she was totally dependent upon Him and had surrendered the area of her relationship, her kingdom marriage to the Father fully. And in doing so, she was on Facebook one day in which she saw a guy who had recently joined her church saying something about his future wife. And in the moment in which she was reading that, the Father dropped in her spirit, He is talking about you. You are His future wife. And she said in that moment she rejected it because she thought it was a distraction, because she was in such a place with the Father in which she was just all about Him. She was happy, she was content, and she was loving the space that she was in with Him. She thought it was the enemy trying to distract her, to knock her off course. She said she was not interested in this guy at all upon that revelation. And she just kind of said, no, God, no, this can't be you. But the Father continued to confirm in so many ways. And she said it took at least 6 months before she truly accepted that this was what the Father wanted, because He kept confirming despite her position, despite how she felt. And she said even up until the very day He approached her, she had doubts. So ladies, do not feel that your doubt is going to cause you to lose this thing. What's yours is yours. The Father is going to fulfill what He said about your union. We're going to have moments of weakness, but we have to take those things to the Father and allow Him to give us what we need. Because does He not continue to confirm over and over again? And for a lot of us who are in our season of marriage, we cannot deny that it's from Him. The things that He shows us and does blows our minds, and they are simply not natural things. They're supernatural in nature. We can't deny what He's doing. But this woman said she continued to deny. She continued to ask for confirmation, and the Father provided time and time again. But what really stood out to me, you all, as it pertains to this story, is that God did not reveal to this man's spirit who she was until a month before he approached her. She was walking around, you all, knowing this man was her husband for 2.5 years and had been instructed by God to not say anything. She had developed a friendship with this man because they were involved in similar things at church and could not tell this man what the Father had revealed to her. And as I'm talking to you all, it now makes sense why the Father brought that testimony to my spirit and wanted me to share it, because this video is 7 years old, you all. He brought it to my attention because the woman shared that when the Father dropped this revelation into this man's spirit, he found it almost impossible to sit on for too long. It brought such an urgency, and he knew he had to do what he needed to do, you all. He did not waste time. Within a month of the Father revealing to him who she was, he went and did what thus saith the Lord. That downbursting, that water just rushing out, is representative of so many of our spouses who have been awakened to the fact that we love them. And the Father has told them it is time. It is go time. Do what you gotta do, bro. And listen, they are coming to you. And when he came to her and asked her, hey, has God been telling you anything, interesting? She said she kind of played it off because she wanted him to fully express what the Father had revealed to him. She wanted him to get it all out before she said anything. And she said he was blown away by the fact that she had known for 2.5 years and he had only known for a month. And you all, they were engaged just a month after that. So listen, you all, a lot of us are all bent out of shape. We're doubting things because this man has yet to approach us. But listen, when the Lord says it's time, it's time. God has his reasons for doing things the way he does them. And like I said, our stories are all different. But just know the Father is strategic. He does things according to his perfect will and plan. And there's always a reason. There was a reason why he told her as opposed to him way before it actually happened. But you can be sure that it was all to give him glory. And what stands out to me is that in most of these stories, it is no time before these couples marry. Now, in some situations, there is an extended period before they marry, but in most of them, they waste no time in marrying. Because when you know, you know. Ordained marriages are not like the world, okay? I was not planning to share that with you all, but he dropped it in my spirit and I had to share because I know it's going to encourage so many of you as it encouraged me. God is doing these things suddenly and he's doing them fast. And you all, I forgot to mention, they were friends for almost 2 years and he showed no signs of being interested in her. But when the Father told him who she was, he went and did what the Father told him to do. So listen, you all, so many of these men are being awakened to who we are. And while some have known who we are, the Father has unctioned them to get the ball rolling. And a lot of these men have indeed been preparing for us, some knowingly, some unknowingly. God's been causing these men to excel in certain areas, to move up, to get promotions, to walk into purpose, to buy new houses, to do all these things. While some had no idea God was setting them up for this coming union, some knew because the Father had indeed told them, I need you to do A, B, and C because I'm bringing this into your life. And some knew who it was, while others were totally just in the dark until now. And they know that you love them, and that has given them the extra push to come for you. I cannot stress it enough. Some of you need to be ready. And I'm being packed and ready to go because I just know my spirit that some of these men, when they come for you, they are coming for you. They want to propose to you. They want you now. There's no time to waste because there's a mandate on your marriage, on your life, that the Father needs to take place now. There are things he needs done now. There are children that he needs born now, you all. So listen, this is for only a select few. You know who you are because the Father's already been speaking this to your spirit. So be ready, be packed. Just be ready, you all. And listen, before I get to the song, the Father just dropped something else in. I want to speak to a specific group of women. Listen, how many of you have within the last year, or maybe even the last few months, you have found that the Father has done some serious transitions and shifts in your life? Some you knew were coming, some you had no clue were coming. Some have been comfortable, some have been quite uncomfortable. Let me get more specific. How many of you have been in situations where either you were told to move, leave your home, you lost your home, just so many things that cause you to be in a position of not being in a permanent living position, to not have stability as it pertains to where you're living. You kind of in between locations. You're waiting on the Father to reveal to you where he wants you to be, or either he's told you where he wants you to be, but he hasn't given you the go ahead to move. You found yourself just losing things, and it doesn't make sense to you why. You found yourself seemingly stuck in a location and you don't know why. The Father's had some sell things, some relocate, some move, and some are like, what in tarnation is going on? This is all part of the process, and this is only for a select few. Do not grab this if this is not your word, because I do not want anyone confused or doing things the Father did not tell them to do. If you find yourself in a situation where you're just like, what is happening? Why did this happen? Why did I lose this home? Why was I asked to give up this home? Why am I being told to pack? Why am I being told to give this away? Why am I being told to get this car and give this car away, or wait on God to get this car, wait on God to buy this house? You just feel like there's so much weight. you all, is because the Father is setting you up for this transition. He knows that you are in your season. He knows there are things that he wants you to do together. And you can't make moves that are cause delay. You can't make moves that are cause discomfort. You can't make moves that will get you off track. He knows what he is doing. For some of us, listen, the Lord has a lot to say. Some of you have been ridiculed. You've been told that you were lazy because God had you leave your job. And you know it was the Father. I'm talking to those who know the Father had you leave a job. And some, you knew in your spirit that the Father was calling you to a time of just spending time with him, allowing him to do what he needed to do in you and to reposition you and show you what he really wants you doing. And those around you did not understand. So they just made you out to be all these different things. And even when you tried to go out and get a job or do things the way people said you should do them, the Father shut it down. He made it impossible for you to do what he said not to do. And when you tiptoed out there and tried to do it, like I say, closed it up all around. Let me encourage you. You are on the right path. This was a divine halt. This was a divine move on the part of the Father because he was setting you up for what is to come. For some of you, your spouse, your ordained spouse has been preparing a place for you. You have not been able to move because they were setting this place up for you. Like I said, some knowingly, some unknowingly. Some things have been shifted. And the Father is saying the time is right. You're going to see things just fall into place. You're going to see these puzzle pieces just come together because it's the set time. And you're going to see that everything that you lost, had to give up, whatever it was, God's going to bring back, and it's going to be double. It's going to be better than what you lost. It's going to bring so much joy, and you're not going to be thinking nothing. You're not going to be studying, okay? Those things that you lost, because the Father is saying, I have battered your daughter. This is about you and your Boaz. This is about your marriage. This is about my glory being revealed in what I am doing in these unions, you all. Listen, the Father has a lot to say. It's about to be on and popping, you all. Some of these transitions and these shifts were simply setting you up for the ministry, the business, or whatever that you and your spouse are going to be working in, because God has plans, and he knew some things had to be torn down and rebuilt. It had to happen, you all. It was strategic. It was not punishment. It was not anything you did wrong. It was simply the Father prepare you for what was to come, and he knew he could trust you. He knew you would stay the course. He knew you would not go back. And listen, he is about to show you exactly what you went through for, exactly why that happened, and you are going to be marveled, you all. I'm excited. One surefire way that you know that it is indeed the Father who has allowed these things to take place is that there has been so much growth in this area. Even amongst all the ridicule, all the shame, all the things that threaten to overwhelm you, the Father has provided time and time again. You have become a better person because of this process, and you see things from the Father's perspective. That is how you know that God indeed ordained this moment, this process. And without even knowing it, a lot of women have been in what you could call a boot camp, in which the Father has been instilling in you all that was needed to be the helpmeet, to be what you were supposed to be in this relationship that was going to bring so much glory to the Father. He has been preparing you to be what you need to be for your purpose and to be what this man needs. Okay, Holy Spirit, he had some things to say. That was not a part of this message, but I am here for it. I was blessed, and I pray that so many of you were encouraged and that it confirmed what the Father had been speaking to your very spirits. So listen, let's try to get back to this song. I might need a minute, you all. So the first line of that first verse says, it happened so suddenly. And like I said earlier, for a lot of these individuals, for your ordained spouse, they are feeling as if this all happened so suddenly. God revealing to them who you are, revealing to them their love for you. And now, for some of us, he's revealing to them that you indeed love them. And also, like I said earlier, it's going to give them that extra oomph to come for you, to do what they've known in their spirits they were supposed to do, as the Father has been downloading these things, you all. It happened so suddenly. And the next verse just plays into that also. It says, I woke up one morning and couldn't get you out of my mind. it plays right into this sudden awareness of who you are, of how they feel, of how you feel, and even for some, the blueprints that the Father is downloading in their spirits as it pertains to what He's calling you to do. It's like it just hit them one morning, and it has been an overflow of information since then, you all. Hence, that rushing water, that bursting of the dam. It's like God is making it all clear, and their feelings for you are just, listen, they are being stirred up, and they are flowing right to you. And for some, this had to do with dreams. You will find that many of your ordained spouses, when you do connect, they will reveal to you dreams they had about you. Some very detailed as it pertains to God's intentions for you as a couple. And some of these dreams will connect with your own in a way that is just mind-blowing, okay? I am so excited for all of us just to see how God was just piecing this story together bit by bit as He causes these unions to be. And some may not have had dreams because God speaks to us in different ways. Some may have had visions about you two. Some may have just heard His still small voice in their spirit confirming that you are indeed their good thing, their helpmeet. It can happen a number of ways. They woke up one morning and they couldn't get you out of their mind. The next verse says, no matter what I did, they could not stop thinking about you no matter what they did. And that takes me back to that testimony that I shared, in which once the Father gave this individual the download in regards to who this woman was, He had to get her done, okay? He had to do what He was supposed to do. And that is the case with a lot of stories that I have heard. Once the Father downloaded in their spirits who you are, they have to move forward. Some of them may be a little timid because there are different personalities at play, and there are different reasons why they would be a bit, anxious about it, because we're all in different situations. Some who were with this person in the past, there may have been some things that were, not the greatest, and there were things that had to be overcome. God had to do a transformation. There's just so many things at play. But the Father is saying that these individuals are finding it almost impossible to not do what they have been instructed to do. And that's why you're feeling this yearning for this individual more than you have before. Things have seemed to intensify in the spirit, and that is why, because that is what's happening in the spirit of your ordained spouse. They are being compelled, they are being unctioned, and they are being instructed to come and handle business. And I just heard in my spirit that some of these ordained spouses even have tried to deny that which the Father has been speaking to their spirits. They've not received it fully up until now. As crazy as that sounds, some have made excuses for why this can't be God. And for some, it may be because of the past, things that happened. For some, it just didn't make sense to them in the natural why it had to be you. Not that anything was wrong with you, but it was because they never would have saw it for themselves. Because listen, God is strategic. God sees ahead. God knows exactly what this individual needs, and He just didn't see it. But just rest assured that they are on board now, and they are happy, thrilled even, about God's choice. And for some, they may even have felt that you were out of their league. Listen, I'm just dropping these things in as the Father just drops me in right now. So I just pray that whoever it is for is receiving it, and that they will allow the Father to do the work in their hearts to bring them ease about this situation. He's saying that for some, they may have felt that you were out of their league, that you would never consider them. But the Father is getting them all the way together and letting them know, son, I need you to move. This is the set time. I've already made every crooked path straight. Just trust and know that her heart is ready to receive you. The ground is fertile. You can now move forward. And they are now aware of the fact that you love them. There's nothing like knowing that the one that your heart loves and desires loves you back. Listen, that is just the most beautiful thing ever. The next part of that verse says they want an instant replay of yesterday. And for some, this can pertain to those who were once in a relationship with this individual, whether it be like just a dating situation, whether it be a marriage, whatever it was, a friendship, whatever, they're thinking about those things and they're replaying those beautiful moments, those memories in their minds. It's bringing a smile to their face. It's causing excitement to well up as it pertains to him thinking about you and your future together. And also, for those who have not been in contact with this person, you know who they are, but you have yet to interact with them. It can be just them reliving their dreams. They can't stop thinking about the dreams they had about you. Because listen, you all, the dreams that the Father gives you, are they not so beautiful? Are they not so powerful? For some guys, even revealed to them, what you're going to do in your marriage, your vision, your purpose. Some are coming fully aware of what the Father is going to use you to for, how he's going to use you. So that's what they were thinking about. And then, of course, it goes into the chorus. Somebody loves you, baby. And what I thought was so awesome is that while I didn't read this chorus last time, but was moved to do so this time, it actually differs in that it says, I think about you, boy. I think about you, boy. And it just solidifies and just confirms that the Father is saying that for some of us, our ordained spouses have awakened to the fact that we indeed love them, and they know that we think about them. The Father has revealed to their spirit and their heart that we indeed think about them and that we are full of love for them, and it has made their entire life, okay? It has caused them so much joy within, so much peace as it pertains to them approaching you all. It's made quite the difference, as I said earlier. I had just felt so excited in my spirit. I will be honest in saying, I'm like, Lord, it's just seeming to drag along at this point. But listen, I cannot help but be excited at the same time, because the Father is going to reward us for our faithfulness unto him. He's going to reward us for trusting him and allowing him to see this thing through. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be marvelous. It's going to be one for the books, okay? And this is no exaggeration, y'all. Your union is going to be talked about for years and years and generations to come. Because when we do things God's way, it's not ordinary. It's extraordinary. It's supernatural. And people can't help but to take notice. They can't help but be changed, transformed, and moved by it. That's why God is not allowing us to skip steps, to rush the process. But listen, you all. That dam bursting was symbolic of what the Father is indeed doing in this hour. He has caused these men to become fully aware of the time and the season, and that what has been stored up within this man from his past season is now being released, flowing from his heart to yours. All that the Father has been doing in this man, building up in this man, is flowing right to you. And the Lord just always brings me back to that video that I did that was entitled, He Will Be a Well for You to Draw From. He continues time and time again to bring me back to that video. He wants the ladies to know that it took the time it took because this man had to be ready, just as you had to be ready to be his favor factor. He is the head of the home. He will be your new covering in the natural. So the Father had to ensure that he had his T's crossed and his I's dotted. The Father was not going to allow this individual to come into your life until he was good and ready, and vice versa, because this man needs you to be his helpmeet. These marriages have a powerful call, you all. These are kingdom marriages. They are set for a time such as this, and they are meant to do exploits as it pertains to his kingdom, you all. And that's why the Father is so careful and so particular about the timing and how things flow. And as I think about that dam bursting and all that water flowing straight from his heart to yours, I also think about the scripture that speaks about, husbands loving your wives as Christ loved the church, and how they are to sanctify us with the washing of the water of the word. They are coming prepared to wash us with the washing of the word. And what that looks like, you all, is exactly what the Father's been teaching them in the secret place about you. How you need to be washed. How you need to be sanctified. They are coming equipped with the things that you need. The things that compliment you. The things that make you smile, that bring you joy. They're coming equipped to listen to you. To be your covering. You only make sense for their lives. He loves you and this man so much, he simply would not allow it to happen before it's time. Because his love for you two is so great. And even more important is his purpose for you two. Let's read Ephesians 5:25 through 27. Husbands, love your wives, as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle, or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. You all, these men, your ordained spouse, is coming to wash you with the waters that the Lord has given him. I almost forgot to mention, when I saw that vision of the dam bursting with all that water just flowing out, I looked up dams and their purpose. While I know it's just nice to get, the actual definition in my spirit. And dams are built for several different reasons, but the definition that stood out to me most was that some dams are built to build reservoirs, to store water for different reasons. And what I heard in the spirit is that this man has been through his process, and within that process, the Father has been storing within this man the water that you need. We all know that water purifies, it cleanses, it does an amazing amount of things for us. And these men have been filled with the things that you need to replenish, restore, and refresh. Is that not so beautiful? He has been causing these reservoirs to grow full. And I'm hearing in the spirit that the time is complete. The time is complete. And that is why I saw in my spirit that dam just bursting forth. There were no more barriers hindering that water from reaching you, because it's simply the Father's set time. It is your time to experience this refreshing, this replenishing. Your Boaz is on the way to bring to you all that you need, as this man has been made aware of your love for him. It's caused these dams to burst. The Father has caused those dams to burst, and there's an overflow, there's an abundance of whatever it is that this man is supposed to bring to you. There are things that only the men of God, the ordained men of God, can bring to our lives. And for those who know that you are in your season of marriage, your ground is fertile. Your ground is ready to receive the overflow, the abundance. And it's going to cause much growth, y'all. New things are springing forth. I heard the Father say new things are going to spring forth as this man washes you with the water of the word. The way the Lord is bringing this to me, it is blessing my soul. Be ready to receive the overflow, the outpouring, the flooding. This is the kind of flood that you do want. It's going to cause new things to spring forth in your life. And as I'm speaking on new things springing forth, I am reminded that yesterday we turned our clocks forward. Spring forward in March is what I saw it called yesterday. And the Lord dropped in my spirit how very prophetic that is. Because I know that there are so many amazing unions the Father is causing to indeed spring forth in the month of March. And I know those whom this is for, you felt that in your spirit. You know you are right there. The Father is saying, grab a hold to that. This is your spring forward moment. These things are happening now. And look how very timely the Father is. Look how he uses anything to say what he needs to say. Beautiful things are happening in this month, you all. So many people will have a testimony that is going to spring forward in this month. And why is that? There are things that your spouse, your ordained spouse, is going to awaken in you. Once you two are united, we are family. I don't know where that came from, but it popped in. But anywho, or reunited and it feels so good. This reunion, this family reunion, is going to bring about so much growth in the both of you. Good things are on the way, you all. It's about to happen. I need you all to be encouraged. Do not grow weary in well-doing. You are doing the right thing. You are allowing God to complete this story, to write this story, and you're not snatching the pen. You're not snatching the pen because you trust fully in the Father. He's got some good things for you all. And some of you are already experiencing it now. Some of you are already crossed over into this place of beauty. You've already reunited with your spouse. And listen, all I can say is, ooh, you all, as soon as I said reunited, this bird ran up on me. It kind of scared me because I've never known a bird to get that close. I'm going to actually go back and include that footage for you all to see. I need you all to see how this bird flew up on me when I was talking about being reunited with your spouse. Ooh, you all? Okay. It was just confirmation that it's going to happen suddenly. They are coming. They're coming to wash you with the water of the word, okay? So listen, I pray you guys were encouraged, uplifted, and edified. I pray God confirmed exactly what he's been speaking to your spirit, that this man knows that you love him. The Father has continued to hear your prayers, and he is moving on your behalf. His timing is perfect. Everything is working according to his plan. And it's about to happen, you all. Look all around you. He's showing you. He's telling you. And he's giving you what you need to stay strong. Seek him out in those weak moments, and he will give you what you need. I am a testament of that, okay? So I love you guys so much. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for those who have sown seeds. It is so appreciated. And listen, God will bless you abundantly and then some. Well, you all, let me hop off of here because I have another message to share. The Father gave me another word this morning, and so I want to get to that before I have to move on to some other things today. So you guys be blessed. Know that I love you. Know that I'm praying for you. And until next time, toodles.